Victorians, welcome back to another paintball video. While we're waiting for our season to kick off here in Ontario, we wait for some of our restrictions to lift here so we can get back out to the playing fields. We are going to go into another video from the vault. So this one's from quite some time ago. Another one from Flagraiders Paintball out in Kitchener, Ontario. And this game focuses, this video rather, focuses on a final battle that was taking place that day. So final battles, they can either be the deciding factor in the final outcome of a score of a day, if the score is close enough, or sometimes it can just be kind of a token gesture to, get rid of the rest of your paint at the end of the day if the scores are so, vastly skewed that it's not going to make a difference overall in the final outcome. So in this particular game, we were on the attack, and the other team had to defend a strong position atop of a very large hill with fixed bunkers and a lot of hard cover. So we had some difficult choices to make on how we were going to approach this attack. What we ultimately decided was essentially where we started was at the base of the steepest ascent to their fortification, and it was also where we were respawning from. So we decided that we would leave a small minority of the players there. That way they could keep consistent pressure and attention on that part of the field, but since the respawn was so close, they'd be in and out so quick, they could, keep that pressure on without having to commit too many of our forces to it. So the rest of us decided to flank around, and that way we could, essentially stretch their line out, pull them away from their concentrated defense, and then slowly start to pick away at their defense and then fill in those gaps. So we're going to get more into this in our training series on how to, advance your line, whether it's by squad or, by your large paintball army. But this breaks down into a couple categories of players, essentially. So you have your forward players who have to kind of probe and look for those openings. You have your mid-range players who are going to fill in those gaps as you're bounding in to make sure you secure the ground you've held onto. And then you're going to have your back players, which play an important role because they're essentially going to need to keep the pressure on with their firepower. So they're the ones that are going to be making sure that whatever ground you take, they don't take back by keeping them, into their bunkers and to keep enough pressure on that they don't feel comfortable coming back out to meet you. So we're going to see how that all went down as we watch this video. So let's check it out. Okay, so starts off with our group in our staging area here. And this is kind of where we were doing the planning phase of our operation here. You can see them up atop there. It's hard to tell from this angle that there's a lot of hard cover there, but you'll see it as we move on further into the video. The gentleman with the flag there, I'm going to assume, was the general of the day. So we begin kind of our probing operation. So first we flanked around to the right side, and there was a hill with a nice vantage point, kind of as an in-between from the center field, and you can see there's their fortifications there. And then we started to keep probing right from this hill, in an effort to kind of, again, stretch their line. So we want them to see us. We want them to see our movement so that they adjust and they start stretching out their lines. Okay, and now this is where the hard part comes in. Now we've got a no man's land between, and you got to make some daring plays to try and fill in those gaps. So as a probing player, you are likely to get killed a lot during these operations. And that's why you kind of go man by man. So you can see we're just man by man, taking a spot, checking it out. Because if you try and commit too many players to advancing before you have a good opportunity for that, then you might take some more significant losses, and that can discourage the rest of your line from moving up. So you can see as you're moving up here, pressure's on, guys are retreating from their hard cover, giving up, those really good defensible positions, which opens up for us to get onto more angles and to eliminate players by opening up those firing lanes. So you can see a lot of times you just got to hope for the best. You got to get real small. And you can see it's starting to encourage players now to fill in those flanks. But you're going to take losses. So you can see a few men went down there. Okay, calling out enemy players, letting those mid-range players get those eliminations for us, while again, we're just trying to keep the pressure on by moving in and filling in. But at this point, as you can see, a lot of the opposition's now being shot out. They've been pushed back to their only building. It's a strong fortification, but when you've got this much opposition now, and you're this far surrounded, it's all but over. So pretty much a cleanup operation at this point. And that's it. What was thought to be a very difficult, seemingly impossible task to take this fortified position was done just using mostly movement. Even with all that paint in the air, you can see it's still possible to break through those lines using angles and you know, different approaches, speed, suppression, and these are all factors that we're going to get into more detail as we go into our training videos down the line. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. A lot to learn there and take in, and it's just the beginning. And hopefully we'll have some more updated video again soon, so you guys can see this applied to more modern day fields. And until next time, thanks for joining us at Playtorians. This was Alex, giving you another paintball video, and we'll see you next time.